How we look? How we look? How we look? We looking all right?
Test.
Elephant titties. Hang low to the ground. And there's a bear shit in the woods. So, are we live on all platforms?
Where's the bear again?
Over there. What you look over there for? I ain't got to outrun the bear. I just got to outrun you. Sure.
All right, 3, 2, 1.
What's up, everybody? This is Bryson Fowler, Bosstalks on the Rooftop, and we're live here at Gilded Age Cigar Lounge, located in Duncanville, Texas. And I have the greatest honor of introducing Mr. Russ, no fuss, all Gus. What's going on, sir?
Good. How are you, man?
I'm good,
Thanks
man.
for coming.
Man, thanks for having us.
Yeah.
You done braved the snow, the snowed in, well, ice. You done braved the ice. It's ice. Guys, we don't get snow in Texas. We get ice.
Pretty much.
So,
It's 4
yeah.
inches of sleep.
Yeah, just gross, right?
It's not pretty. It's just a big giant slushy
Ugh.
at the moment.
Yeah, and not the kind you want. So, Russ, we're going to get to the nitty gritty. Why, oh, why are we here in Gilded Age in Duncanville, Texas? What is the purpose behind opening up a cigar lounge in Duncanville, Texas?
Well, when we were looking for a place, you know, I owned another cigar shop previously in Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
And when we were looking for a place to move on to, there had been a cigar lounge here at this address for 20 years already.
Right.
And we had gotten word that they were that the owner was going to be retiring and closing the shop. And so we thought, there's a 20-year clientele down there. They're not closing for lack of business. And so we decided just to come on down here and open up right behind them. They closed in June. We opened up in September. The
Wow.
humidor was already, it was a very easy decision.
Right.
I do have a little bit of guilt because having opened a cigar shop myself, the more traditional way, having to do it from scratch,
Right.
it's a big pain in the ass.
Right.
But we were able to kind of cheat a little bit
But I
because
mean,
it was
man,
already here. We knew the landlord would let us smoke. The humidor was already here.
Right.
We made a lot of, this place looks radically different than it did,
right.
but we didn't have to build a humidor. We didn't have to build lockers, and we didn't have to, like I said, we had 20 years of customers waiting for it to reopen, basically.
That sounds like
So-
a good little situation.
It was the easiest decision.
That's a
in the
good
world.
situation. Man.
Yeah.
A lot of people are jealous.
Listen, I did do it the traditional way once.
Right.
And it was a pain in the ass. So I paid my dues.
Well, let's talk about that pain in the ass. What did you do the first go around? Because you've been in the business for almost, 13, 14 years?
Almost 19 years this
19
year.
years.
Yeah.
So you're seasoned vet in the game.
Yeah, I've been around a while.
Jesus. How old are you?
41. 41.
41, right?
Yeah,
So,
I started young.
yeah, man, you did.
But when I started, the smoking age was still 18. So I started, my first cigar, I was 19 years old.
Right.
My first cigar.
Okay.
And I didn't like it, actually. We can talk about that later. It was the wrong cigar. The cigar that was given to me was not the right cigar for anybody's first cigar. But yeah, I've been doing it for 19 years.
Did you make the first mistake that almost everybody does and try to inhale it?
No. I knew better. I had gotten good advice on that. But the first cigar that was given to me was by somebody who also didn't know about cigars. We were celebrating something or another. And my friend had bought us Camacho Triple Maduros, not knowing what the heck we were buying.
Oh,
yeah.
You jump in the deep end when you first do it.
For a first cigar, not a good decision. And so, but I eventually found one that I did like. And I smoked that. It was a La Gloria Cubana Gloria Extra.
Oh.
And I smoked that cigar for a year and nothing else because I was too afraid to
try anything else.
Right.
Yeah. So, no, when you first started out, you start out real strong, real hard and heavy,
Yeah.
right? So in the cigar industry, when you open up your first lounge, was that how you started out as well? Just guns a-blazing?
Well, I was really fortunate because when I got my first job in a cigar lounge was in San Antonio, working for a really well-established company, cigar lounge down there, and a really well-established family. That family, even today, is really heavily involved in the cigar industry. So getting started working for them in their lounge and managing one of their shops, I got to meet a lot of really good people, so that when I came to Dallas and we opened our first shop in Dallas, with a lot of the reps and some of the companies, they knew where I had come
They already
from,
knew where you.
and it gives you a little more credibility. Now, it doesn't open every door,
Right.
you know what I mean? But the reps will take you a little bit more seriously because they know where you had come from.
Right. You're
so
not new.
that helped a lot. It really did, because we started like a lot of shops do. We started with a small budget. We had to start small. The first thing we owned was a little cart of cigars, no bigger than the table we're sitting at.
Really?
It was a glass case filled with cigars. That's how we started.
Oh.
It's one of my favorite pictures, standing behind that case, because then you start real small. And not everybody can do that. We were young. We could afford to be broke.
Right.
So,
Right.
We didn't have families to raise at that time. So
Right.
it gives you a little more flexibility. It doesn't relieve the stress very much,
Right.
but it does give you some flexibility.
Linear focus.
I'm telling you. You start small and you kind of go. But the fact that we knew. One of my business partners at the time had also worked for that company in San Antonio. So the fact that we kind of had those early connections, even though we were starting small, a lot of the reps we were working with knew that we're
serious.
Yeah, we weren't just a couple of guys opening a clubhouse. We knew what we were doing, and we had come from a good foundation. Right. And so that helped a lot. It really did. Even having to start small, it helped a lot.
So now we're going we've moved to Dallas. What is that like, acquiring different kind of brands for your lounge, and how do you go to selecting who you want to work with and having your lounge?
Well, that is, honest to God, there's not, in my opinion, there's not a right answer to that. As long as you, as the business owner and as the lounge owner, as long as you have a discerning palate and and are familiar with everything that you carry, and you back it up, it has your stamp of approval on it.
Right.
You're not just throwing stuff in the humidor. Some shops like to focus on boutiques.
Right.
Some shops, you can open up a lounge and have nothing but the standard, those flagship brands, the Monte Cristos and the Romeos and all of that.
Right.
And you can be a successful lounge doing that.
Right.
But whatever you're going to do, you need to be able to get behind it. So the first shop that we opened in Dallas was very focused on boutiques, very, very heavily focused on boutique. It was either a boutique line or something that was completely family owned still. So like Padron, for example, but nothing that was, like this
corporate.
Yeah.
We got a lot of corporate machine behind it.
Well, in this industry, there's a lot of romanticism, wrapped up into it, and so that romanticism, it still exists hardcore within the boutiques,
right? Because everybody has to have their story of why.
Exactly. And one of the coolest things about opening it that way, when we first opened that shop 14 years ago, just about, we started working with Black Label Trading Company, for example, and just to have been with them almost from their beginning,
Yeah.
and watch them grow because they have their own factory now. They built a brand new factory. They just opened up and built a brand new event space
Oh, wow.
down there in Esteli
Oh, wow.
to like host tours and stuff. Oh man,
I'm starting to
watch
see
those
like a
small
lot of people are
boutiques grow.
doing
It's really
tours,
cool. Yeah,
right?
and I would highly recommend to all of your listeners or anybody interested in cigars, if you have the opportunity to do that,
Mhm.
whether you go to the DR or to Nicaragua or Honduras, do it.
Yeah.
Go check it out. It really is to see what goes into putting that cigar in your hand
Right.
in the lounge.
Mhm.
It's it can
It's a
be
process.
really, really cool. I will say, I might. For myself, I do prefer visiting the boutique stuff,
Mhm.
the smaller factories.
Right.
You know, although if you do visit something like Perdomo, for example, they own their fields.
Yeah.
So you're going to get a really wide
Understanding
view
of what they do.
where these cigars come from.
Yeah.
You know? But any opportunity that you have, take it. Go down there. It's really cool. It is really, really cool.
So for you, why a lounge, not your own cigar brand?
Well, you know, I have done that before.
Really?
Years ago, and it's hard, man. It's
Yeah.
really hard. How do you put this without sounding rude?
You gotta say it how it is, man. I'm very brash and very
Like I'm
upfront.
still in the industry. I'm like on this side of the industry.
Right?
The simple, the simple thing is, you know, some people don't pay their bills,
Mhm.
and when they owe that bill to you,
Right.
you really need them to pay their
You need them to pay the bill. I get that. Hey, can you press OK on the TikTok? Brief little intermission. There you go. And we're back.
But I will say this: if you're gonna do, like as a lounge owner,
Mhm.
you can do something like a private label,
Right.
that you're gonna sell in your shop,
Right.
But if you want to like own a brand and like distribute it and all that,
Mhm. It's a bear.
it's a lot. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, and you've got to be able to turn it
Mhm.
quickly,
Right.
you know. And that's how a lot of these end up.
Mhm.
I mean, look, I dealt almost exclusively with boutiques for a long time,
Mhm.
you know, and they come up, they last for a year, and they can't afford to buy more cigars.
Right.
And if they don't have it to sell to me, I can't keep carrying it.
Right.
Some of them were really good.
Right.
Some of them are really good cigars, owned by really good people, but you know, at the end of the day, they can't keep it going.
So it would be more like the production side,
It's
keeping up with the
difficult.
demand.
Well, and not being able to turn a lot of, man, it happens all the time. Not just on the distribution side with people, you know, launching a cigar brand.
Mhm.
If you've got $10,000, you can launch a cigar brand.
Right.
But what the hell does that mean? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you'll have a cigar with your label on it,
Right.
and now what? You know.
Now,
So the problem is now you've got to sell it to people. But the problem I see all the time with that end, with a cigar brand or with people opening cigar lounges, is they quit their jobs and they think they're going to make a living off of it right off the bat.
right.
And now, but they're not selling it fast enough. So every penny they make has to pay their own bills, their
Right.
own mortgage, their
Right.
you know what I mean? And now there's
Right.
no money left to order more cigars because they're not turning it quick enough. You know?
Right.
It happens all the time. It happens on the retail end. It happens on the distribution end.
Mhm.
It's I don't know. There's
And see, that's what I often wonder is like, you know, when people like this, I see cigar lounges, either you have an added advantage to it, like you have funding for it where you can sit and grow the business, or you have some kind of supplement on the other side that allows you to do what you ultimately want to do,
yeah.
right?
So you know, here we get asked all the time. Yeah, I've been doing this for a long time, and
Mhm.
people always ask, you know, what. I've had guys come to me who were thinking about doing it themselves, wanting advice, and I'm looking at a guy. I mean, this is just a hard facts,
Mhm.
right? I'm looking at a guy who's got a mortgage. He's got 3 kids in junior high,
Jesus.
you know,
So
and he's talking about leaving a job that provides his whole family with health insurance. He's got a pension or a 401k,
Mhm.
and he's going to leave that behind to open something that, statistically speaking, is going to fail. You know
statistically,
what I mean? You know what I mean?
yeah,
It's like, why would you do that? You know, like do this in retirement.
right,
You know,
right, and I didn't want to say
and that's easy enough for me to say.
Right.
But we were young and stupid enough.
Right.
And like I said, we could afford to be broke.
right.
You know what I mean?
You didn't have big bills.
Yeah. No, look, if you've got a lot of money
Mm.
to put it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's a different story. But for most people who are doing this the way most people do it, you know, you got to be real. You got to be real careful because you got to be able to make a living off of it quick.
Right.
In those cases, you know what I mean? And it's hard to do. It's really hard to do.
Right. So, what has been one of the primary keys to your success in staying consistent?
So I'll frame it like this. The best advice that I can give anyone thinking of opening a cigar shop, okay? Most cigar shops, like 90% of cigar shops out there, 90% of their revenue is going to come out of that room,
Right.
right?
Mm.
And so I've looked at like business plans that some people have put together. They're thinking of opening up a lounge, right?
Mm-hmm.
And their business plan will literally say like crazy stuff like, I've seen 25% of the budget buying furniture, TVs, decking out the lounge. And for me, like my question is, are you selling furniture?
Right.
You know?
Right.
Like, because it doesn't matter how nice any of this out here is. If that's empty,
Right.
game over.
Game over.
You know what I mean? Game over. So the secret, it's not a secret, you know, but we sell cigars. That is it. That is how we make money.
Right.
And so everything it's all about that. It's about making sure your humidor is stocked, having the best selection you can offer your clients,
Right.
and hopefully a better selection than your nearest competitors, you know, and working your ass off to make sure that's where your focus is. Because at the end of the day, nothing else matters. I could have 50 people standing in here, but if I don't have anything in there to sell them,
Got nothing to sell.
then I didn't make any money that day.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so that's like I said, I wouldn't call it the secret. It's just you need to be very in tune with what is it I sell,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Right.
What do I sell? I sell cigars, and I'm going to need cigars.
Right.
You know,
If I don't have any product, I don't
That's
have a
it.
business.
And look, that sounds real simple, and I'm sure there are a lot of people listening to this like, going, yeah. You know, get to the good stuff. That's it. That is it. You know,
I like it. They think something needs to be complicated.
it's not that complicated. Now, this is a special industry. There are lots of like interesting quirks and special things about the cigar industry.
Right.
Like I said, it's very romanticized, and
Right.
you can really let yourself get bogged down. But from the business side of it, in so many ways, this is a retail business like any other retail business,
Right.
and I need stuff to sell.
Right.
So, you know, you can be creative in the lounge. You know, you can go buy secondhand furniture. You can do, you know, you can trim your budget there.
Right.
But your cigars cost what they cost. You've got to go and buy that and keep your humidor stocked. I know if I walk into a cigar shop and the humidor is looking bare, that really says everything. You know what I mean? The number of cigar shops that are making their money off of memberships or lockers or things like that, right? Those are great to supplement
Right.
your shop. But the shops that are actually like staying open because of that sort of stuff and like really making their business off of that's very, very few. You know, you've got to be selling cigars. The cigars are not the supplement. The cigars are the business.
Right.
You know? And so, yeah, that's kind of, is it a secret? Not really.
No.
I mean, it is rather obvious, but I see new shop owners especially get really bogged down in what kind of services they're going to offer.
Right.
The first thing you have to offer are cigars.
cigars.
That's it.
Right.
That is it. You know, like you don't even. I mean, technically speaking, you don't even need a lounge to sell cigars.
True.
You know what I mean?
True.
So, anyways, that's what I would say. The secret to our success is we are constantly in there trying to figure out what we can do next.
Very cigar
You know what I
centric.
mean? Very cigar centric.
Very cigar centric. So, with that, how do you decide what cigars go in your humidor?
Well, some of it, once again, some of it's obvious. What are they asking for, and can I get it? Right.
Right.
And so when we came down here from our previous shop, we had to kind of learn what these guys want to smoke. Right. What are they asking for? And so we had to listen a lot to that, and we worked hard to get that in here. But also, what can I offer that isn't available or isn't easily available down in this area, right? In this area of the city.
Right.
And so we worked really hard right off the bat. We knew we wanted to get Liga because Liga is not very widely available down here.
Correct.
And so we really kind of like pushed hard when we first opened up to make sure we could qualify for Liga by the end of that first year. And we did, and it worked out really well.
Right.
You know, our next big push is to get Opus in here and Añejo as soon as possible.
Yes.
That's going to be the next big thing. I want to offer things to my customers that they can't get
Anywhere
else.
Right.
I want to have what they, I carry a lot of Drew Estate, other Drew Estate stuff in here.
Yes.
You can get Drew Estate in
Pretty
a lot
much
of
everywhere,
places, right? EP Carrillo, that's not hard to find necessarily.
Right.
We carry all of that stuff, but we are driven a lot by what can I get that is not so easy to find, but that a lot of people want, right? Or that makes it a little bit more special, and that makes it worth the drive. We're not in the middle of the city.
No, no, not.
So what can we do that's going to make people want to drive a little bit further,
Right.
to come here and buy cigars from me? So we focus a lot on that sort of stuff.
And see, that's always been my thought process is like, okay, as a cigar lounge owner, are you most sort of leaning on your palate, or what is your vision for the type of cigars that you want to offer?
Yeah.
And then in the area that we are in, a lot of the stuff that you carry, we can't get everywhere else.
Right.
So I think that's very commendable that is your focal point.
Well,
Like hell, even that Arturo Fuente that you have in your mouth.
oh yeah, Don Carlos. Yeah.
At Don Carlos, you can't get everywhere.
This
And how dare you? I'm gonna need you to put that down. Here's your Kingpin Luxury torch.
Oh, thank you.
You
Oh,
actually
thank
sell these in your lounge.
I do.
And you're gonna use a torch in front of me. That's crazy. That's wild.
And you
On my own shoulder. Disrespect, guys. You see that? You see that? And he has a sign that says "No outside tobacco," and he uses a non-brand torch that he doesn't even carry to sell.
That's not true. I do sell that. Come on.
Ah, whatever.
I don't believe this. Live on television.
Yeah, just lie. Just the disrespect. Horrible. Absolutely horrible. Y'all think I ain't gonna call you out? You don't use my stuff on my show. I'm gonna do it. Sheesh. Man, I had it filled up and ready for you too.
I can't believe you let me bring this up here. You set me up.
I did.
You set me up.
I did. I was like, I'm gonna wait and let him do it. I'm gonna wait and let him do it. I'm not gonna let him finish, but I'm gonna wait and let him do it.
You're a real businessman.
It takes one to know one. That's why we're here, man. I'm very appreciative of the business that you do. So, and man, I love cigars. So that's why I'm like, man, Russ, I've been trying to get an interview with you for a minute, and it's just always timing. But we got snowed in, and we still were able to make
this
it happen.
worked out really well because we booked this date several weeks ago,
Right.
And it just so happened that it's the first day the roads are clear,
Right.
So we can actually stick to the schedule. So
Absolutely.
it's really good.
I was like, well, shit, okay. If we can do it, we're gonna do it.
Yeah.
So With the next big thing, you want to get Opus in here. What does that process look like for you?
Well, you have to have a plan first of all. So with most of these companies that have like what they would call an allotted cigar, right? You've got to qualify for it,
right?
And it's based on your purchases and how many facings you have most of the time.
What are facings?
A box of cigars is a facing,
okay,
right? And so, without getting into the details, because the different companies have different kind of rules, right?
Right.
But they're going to want you to have X amount of facings and to have made this amount in purchases right within a year to qualify for an allotted cigar.
Got
right?
it.
And so when we go into and this is our goal for this year with Opus, we know we need to have so many facings and we need to be spending this much money. Well, if I don't sell a lot of Fuente, that's the first obstacle, right? So I need more Fuente to sell to people,
right?
So that I can make those purchases with Fuente to qualify, right?
Right.
And so you kind of widen out your selection of that particular brand and see how it goes. Now, here's the thing: if nobody wants to buy Fuente, then we can't keep ordering.
You can't keep ordering it.
Yeah. We're not just going to stock up on Fuente,
right?
Just for the sake of Opus. But in most cases, I mean, Fuente makes amazing stuff anyway. It's a standard, and they have really great options. So this is one of them. I love this cigar.
Yeah, the Dark Carlos is nice.
The Hemingway series is a really nice cigar.
I am a fan of the Hemingway.
If you let your customers know, like, hey, look, we have this plan, and it's going to require you guys to buy to start, I'm
going to need you to buy in, okay?
To get reacquainted with
right.
our Toro Fuente, because this is where we want to go. You'll get a lot of buy-in from your customers a lot of times,
And that takes a lot of trust and a lot of transparency with your clientele, right? So, I mean, like, hey, like, I'm here for you guys. I need you to do this so we can have this established.
One of the great things about this industry, not just as it pertains to what we're talking about with like trying to get limited edition stuff or hard to get cigars, but one of the great things about this industry is your clientele, the guys that are in your shop all the time, to an extent, they take a certain pride of
ownership
their home shop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even if everybody's got their home shop.
Right.
You bounce around a little bit, but everybody's got their home shop.
Right.
And in this industry, you find a lot of that, just kind of like that pride of your home shop. This is where think about you. I know you had to have experienced this. I've experienced it constantly over the years. You're visiting a cigar shop out of town, and you meet somebody who's also visiting from out of town. And what do you start talking about? Your home shops.
Right.
My shop carries this.
Right.
And my shop carries this.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, it's one of the things you try and provide for your customers. You know? Oh, well, we get the Shark. Yeah.
Right.
Like where I'm at. Oh, we have really, we have the really rare Unico series from Drew Estate. You know? We have L40s. We have, that sort of stuff.
The stuff that makes you like prideful to say.
Your customers want to be able to say that about the place they shop back home, And so, you strive to provide that. And if you let them know, like, hey, we're going in this direction, but we need, you guys need to support this brand so that we can get this other stuff in. A lot of times they're right. They'll buy into it. Absolutely.
Right. So what is your go-to cigar for yourself? Like this is my celebratory moment.
Oh, okay. Celebratory.
Yes.
All right.
Not your everyday stick.
I was going to say, okay.
Your celebratory. We'll get to the everyday stick.
So my celebratory sticks will be like Plasencia Almafuerte. I really enjoy those.
Red, blue, or green?
The black. The black one? That Fuerte black label.
I like that one too.
I love that. Although that new Alma del Cielo, that
with the
blue
octagon,
label.
yeah.
That blue label one they just came out with. That really is.
It's pretty
That's
nice.
a special smoke. I really like that a lot. But I would still do the black label myself. I like it. It's a good rich cigar, but it's not like in your face.
Yeah. It's kind of smooth.
It is.
It has a nice little pepper to it, but it's smooth. It's gradual.
The most popular one from that is that Sixto. That's that hexagon cigar. But my favorite size out of that series is actually just the Robusto.
Really?
Yeah, I smoke that Robusto a lot. But I shouldn't say a lot. But it's like I need a moment with a cigar.
Yeah, that's where you're going. Okay.
But I also like this is kind of cliche a little bit, but I really like sitting down with like a Liga Privada number 9 too.
Oh, you like real smoky.
But it's a good cigar.
Yes.
Now the cigars I smoke daily and throughout the day are like our house cigars here.
Yes.
Golly, I smoke them all the time. They're good. I like them.
How do you go about selecting a good house cigar? Because like several lounges have their different house cigars, and like some house cigars are terrible. But like I've been to several lounges that take pride in their house cigars.
Yeah.
And cigars.
Yeah. What's in that mug?
Right. I don't know what Kelsey put in.
I was going to say,
Kelsey made this for me. If I pass out, just, put a blanket over me.
Well, so there are a lot of companies, a lot of the big companies will make like house cigars, and you can buy them. And most of those will be fine and reputable. You'll get a good quality cigar. It's not going to knock your socks off,
right?
But it'll be a good quality cigar. Our house cigars are all made by Noel Rojas, but we've been working with him for so long.
Yes.
He's always done good stuff. He's another guy. Working with boutiques for so long. We watch him come up, and now he's got his own factory.
Right.
And
doing his thing.
Man, I love those stories. I really do. I love those stories. But we were just really fortunate to have already had a relationship. And have worked with him for so long. So he does ours.
Yeah.
But you can. So there are like these companies nobody's really ever heard of before, and they mail you catalog. We get catalogs from all of them,
right?
And they'll sell house cigars, just unbanded, sticks, right. And that is going to be trash. I mean, you want as the business owner, you want to get the best deal for yourself that you can.
Right.
There does come a point where you're like, there is no cigar that's going to cost me $1.50. That's going to be worth.
That's going to be worth me putting it in there.
There's no way that's going to be any good.
Yeah.
So you got to be reasonable about it.
Yeah. I try to be reasonable, but God damn it. And for me, like I got an expensive taste anyway, so it's like
Well,
I should not be the judge of how I put a house cigar in my humidor. Because I know for me, it's going to be like, I want this, and this, and I want it for $2.
Well, I'd love that.
Right.
I'd love a good $2 cigar. But also, what that reminds me of? Years ago, this was back when I was still in San Antonio. Avo Avesian came out with, this must have been 2010 maybe. They came out with their Avo Heritage cigar. And unlike most of the Avos at the time, this was like a $7 cigar.
Right.
And so one of my customers was a big Avo fan, so he bought it.
Avo's Davidoff's spinoff, right?
Well, and at the time, Avo Avesian was still alive, so he was still intimately involved in the process.
Right.
And one of my guys, his name was, well, I'm not going to say his name. It doesn't matter. But one of my guys bought this cigar, and he came back a couple of days later. He was like, Russ, I tried that new Heritage, and I just don't like it. It's not like the rest of the Avos. And I said, listen, this is what you need to do. And I'm telling this story because we're talking about inexpensive cigars. I said, look, the problem was, you smoked that cigar and you told yourself you're smoking an Avo. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you had some expectations. So I got another one and I gave it to him. And I said, take this home. And when you're smoking it, tell yourself you're smoking a $7 cigar. You know what I mean?
Right. And then
tell me what you think about it. You know what I mean? So, don't smoke a $7 cigar expecting a $12 cigar. That's not what you bought. You
So-
know,
Just for a little moment of clarity, our VC, what was he?
oh, kind of a legend. He's a great guy. I got to meet him several times, actually. He's really, really cool. Super classy. I mean, he was always dressed to the nines. You need to Google a picture of Abu Avizian from when this guy was alive. I mean,
Yeah.
hats, suits, like
He
looked
fit
great.
the bill.
Yeah, but he was a musician. And got into the cigar business from his time in Cuba as a musician in Cuba, but he's from Armenia. It's a long story. You Google his biography. His backstory is really incredible. But he actually, as a musician, no shit, wrote "Strangers in the Night"
Really?
that Frank Sinatra ended up making really popular.
Oh,
He
wow.
wrote that song.
The same song that was popular on Scarface.
Yeah, there you go. So, but a really awesome guy. But he started producing cigars, teamed up with Zeno Davidoff, and really started making some great stuff. And he had this really great following for a really long time. Although Cigar still has a great following.
He does.
But I'm so glad I've been in the industry for so long because I got to meet so many cool people who aren't around anymore.
Right.
You know? Because there were some real rock stars back in
You're
the day.
technically kind of one of the staples in the Dallas cigar community, right?
Yeah. I mean, maybe. I mean, I don't like to think of myself that way.
20 years in the game.
Right.
It's you kind of have a big legacy, and then
I hope what that has done, and having been around for so long, I hope what that tells people is they can trust us,
right.
you know, to provide
Quality.
good stuff. So yeah, it is odd, you know, once you get to a 20-year mark in one industry, you do kind of start thinking, man, I have been around a little while.
Yeah, I've been
You
kind
know,
of long in the tooth right
I
here.
was thinking about it because I didn't actually start thinking about that, how long I've been in it, until I hit the 15-year mark. And so for the last 5 years, I've been thinking I've been in the industry for 15 years.
Right.
But then I was thinking about it a couple of days ago, and I was like, that's not true.
That's not true.
Next year is going to be 20 years.
Yeah, I've been in here a little longer than what I've been putting on.
It is it's crazy. It really is crazy. I did not expect this to end up being a career,
Yeah.
you know, but and I joke with people all the time. I'm glad it's working out because I don't know how to do anything else.
Like, what else am I going to do?
No idea.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm smoke a cigar, come buy a cigar.
That's all.
But see, I think that's the most successful part about having focus. Follow one course until successful, and you've just stayed the course.
Yeah, I mean, we were really lucky, man, because back in those early days, I think I said it twice already, but it's so true. You know, we were young enough, and could afford to be broke for a little while.
Right.
You know what I mean? I would not recommend starting the way we started.
But you got to start somewhere, guys. If you're going to start, you got to start somewhere, right?
You do. You have to start somewhere. And look, we learned a lot, and we learned a lot quick. And like I mentioned before, you know, I had worked for a very established, very well respected family in San Antonio, and you know, I was a cocky 27-year-old when I opened my first shop. You know, and you think you know what you're doing,
Right.
And then you realize that you managed a shop for them for a while, but you weren't in charge of paying payroll, or
Right.
paying the taxes,
Right.
or-
You weren't in
all
charge
that
of all the regular bills.
That's
Like,
right. You didn't have all that stress on you the way that, you know, the real boss did.
right. Like, here's the other side of the coin. Here,
That's
hold that.
Yeah, it's there's a lot in there, and for most cigar shop owners, you're a small business owner, and that means you're the one on call.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
You're the one when somebody calls in. Like 70% of the time, you're the one going in.
You're the one going in.
That's
when
it.
it ices over and your manager is like, I'm not coming out,
That's it.
you got to open up if you're
If
going to
you
try and
wanna
make some money.
If you want to open, you got to get down there and open.
So when we were with, I got a few more questions because I've seen the maturation and the growth, and also during the moment during COVID, right?
Oh yeah.
I saw the pivot during COVID that you guys did with your previous lounge, and you were still able to maintain. Actually, Kelsey actually hand delivered my cigars to me. What was that like for you?
I think the industry as a whole, us included, you kind of go into a panic mode for a second, because all you can think is, we're gonna have to close the store for God knows how long.
Pause for a second. Oh, can you press close? My battery's running low.
Oh, I thought you were plugged in.
There we go. And just tap the screen again. There we go. Back on. How you doing, huh?
Do we need to start the question again? Do we need to restate the question?
No, we're live here, and then O's still recording, so he'll cut it.
So when that happened, a lot of people kind of went into a panic mode, but you cannot. you can't sit on your haunches and just let the world happen to you. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so you get a website up and running within a week. You start running deliveries. You start selling cigars on the sidewalk outside the shop. You do everything you need to do to keep it going.
Right.
And well, God, we learned a lot during that too.
Right.
I mean, it really did change. But I will say this: for our industry, for the cigar industry as a whole, COVID did cigar imports into the country were rising by leaps and bounds, not by a little bit. I mean, it was a great time in the industry.
Right.
Most of the shops were making money, and most of that is due to the fact that our customers were now stuck at home.
Right.
And they were working from home, which means they can smoke while they're working.
Right.
And so they were buying cigars. If you had the cigars to sell, they were buying cigars. And the industry as a whole did really well. Same
for me. That was exactly what it was for me. With the roofing business, that honeydew list.
Yeah.
Now the husbands are home with the wives or with their spouses. And they're like, hey, that honeydew list, since you're here, you want to take care of that? And so now I'm getting more calls.
As long as I can have a cigar while I do it.
Right. So I was like, okay. And then so for me, I was like, well, shit, I'd like to be at home smoking my cigar. So like I said, Kelsey delivered my cigars to me.
And,
I was like,
and overall, it was a good time for the industry overall. It really was a good time, and it's and that hasn't stopped. Imports continue to go up.
Yeah.
So
that's what I wanted to ask.
Yeah, right? COVID was a bit of an eye opener, and you learn a whole lot about what you're actually capable of as a business owner.
Right.
But Kelsey, my business partner, she is a firecracker when it comes to not sitting still.
Absolutely.
Making sure,
point.
Like we push ahead, no matter what. So yeah, that was.
Shout out to Kelsey, guys. She didn't want to come on camera, but I'm gonna give her flowers on camera. Kelsey, you're either usually dealing with Kelsey, or if Russ is not available, you're talking to Kelsey anyway.
Yeah.
Even if Russ is available, you're talking to Kelsey.
Yeah, she's the pretty one.
You're okay.
That's all right.
You're all right. But I do like looking at Kelsey a lot better, though. But, guys, this is Gilded Age, located in Duncanville. So come on down. Come to the shop. Come check them out. Come hang out with Russ. Make sure you hang out with Kelsey. She's going to talk to you. She knows her stuff when it comes to everything in this humidor. So, Russ, how can we find you?
Well, we're here, like you said, we're in Duncanville at Main Street Station, 100 South Main Street. We're here every single day, Sunday through Saturday. We're here from 10 to 9, Monday through Saturday, and noon to 8 on Sundays.
Awesome.
We're only closed 2 days a year for Thanksgiving and Christmas. Other than that, come on by, unless there's a blizzard.
Right, right.
That might shut us down for one day.
And your Instagram handle?
At Gilded Age Cigar Shop.
You on Facebook as well?
Gilded Age Cigar Shop.
Okay.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, easy to find. We try to keep it straightforward.
Right. And can we order cigars online through you guys?
Not yet. That's
Oh.
another project that we're working on this year.
Okay.
To get a website and an online e-commerce site up and
Okay.
running. So
Awesome. Russ, I appreciate you, baby.
thanks, Bryson. Appreciate you, man.
So, guys, this is Bryson Fowler, Bosstalks on the Rooftop. Make sure you like, subscribe, share the live, share the channel. Go on YouTube, Bosstalks on the Rooftop. And remember, storms don't last, but your home should. Peace. Two fingers.
I hope it went okay for you.
It was great for me.
Okay, good.
What'd you think?
I can talk about the cigar industry all day long.
Yeah. I'll let you run. You don't want to keep running because we're still live on TikTok. Keep talking. Oh, yeah. You do got to do your drop. So your drop is your first, last name, Gilded Age. Check out my episode on Boss Talks on the Rooftop.
Check out my episode on Bosstalks
On the Rooftop. Now, you can do it in one lines if it's easier for you. I was going to edit it. But, yeah, if you can do it all in one, you can do it all in one.
All right, very good. Camera straight ahead. Very good. Hey guys, Russ Hargraves here at Gilded Age Cigars in Duncanville, Texas. Check out my episode on Boss Talks on the Rooftop. Did I say it all right?
I think it sounded great. Was it good for you, O? It was good for me. TikTok, was it good for you guys? It was great for me. Kelsey. I almost got her. Oh, Kelsey is like, nope, not doing it. Not coming. No way.
Oh, well. She's always been camera side. Whenever we do anything like this, it's like, Russ, somebody wants to do it.
Someone wants to do it.
Kelsey does print interviews.
Yeah. So you get her on the phone. You're like, yeah, we got it. That's cool. Well, you're so personable, Kelsey. Why are you so afraid of the camera? Like, no.
I'll be honest, she has done a few on-camera things before, but usually short form stuff. She's much better at it than she thinks she is.
She is.
She really is.
Like when she does the promotions for your giveaways
Right?
on IG and all that, I'm like,
Yeah,
You're
she's much
natural.
better at it than she thinks she is. She's just a little camera shy.
right. Are you going to be a pastor or something like that?
No, I do a lot of lay ministry at my church, though.
Oh, okay.
But I'm not ordained or anything like that.
Oh, okay.
But I do a lot of ministry work at the church.
Oh, nice. I heard you did ministry. I was like, oh, okay. I didn't want to bring that up because we're focused on the cigar.
Yeah,
but
no, happy to talk about that.
So
We talk about cigars and Jesus.
man,
Talk
look,
about either of those all day long.
right? So because there's a group of guys that do like church tobacco, and I ran into some guys at PCA. Do you go to PCA anymore?
Oh yeah, we didn't go last year, and to be honest, we might not go this year.
Oh, okay. I was just like, come on, New Orleans, I'm gonna be there.
Well, all of my in-laws live in Las Vegas,
Ah,
so like I got a free place to stay.
right.
When it's in Vegas, it's really easy.
That makes sense. I think 2027 they're going back to Vegas.
Yeah.
So
We might, honest God, we might end up going this year, but it's by no means a sure thing.
right. I know I've already put everything in motion to go ahead and get it going.
You should, man.
I've
Get in there on a media pass and interview some people. That'd be great.
Well, see, I've been doing it for the past 2 years now.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so-
I love that.
So I've been navigating and meeting all the cigar nerds and
Well, let me ask you, what's the best interview you've been able to get at like PCA? Because you've got access to all these brand owners.
oh man, I'm gonna be honest. It was with Jorge Patron.
Awesome. Oh, that's great.
Yeah. So my first sit down at PCA 2024 was with Jorge Patron. He took the time
It's
out.
a good get.
Yeah, he took the time out. He sat with me and he cleared the floor for me to do this interview.
Great.
And I was like, I didn't even have a media pass on. I didn't have a camera guy. We did it with like plug-in mics and a phone,
Yeah.
and a cell phone. I had an iPhone.
That's really cool.
And I mean, he sat down and took his time with me, and I was just like, this is pretty cool.
That does not suck.
Yeah, it did not suck. And I'm like, man. And like, and I got to meet a lot of the personalities, like Ish from BAMF, which is badass motherfucker, right?
Yeah.
He has really good cigar work, and he's really cool. He's a real cool dude, personable.
Most of the people are really accessible,
right?
You know what I mean?
Right.
It can be intimidating.
Yeah,
but most of them are really accessible.
Yeah, and like Zaya, he carved out some time for me at PCA last year. Yonan El Septimo.
Oh yeah.
So it like, but like the best like heartfelt like real interview that I really that just holds near and dear, because it was like, oh well shit, I can really do this.
It's this one.
Yeah, it was this one. It's today.
This is the turning point for Bosstalks on the Rooftop.
I love it. And I was just sitting there like, okay, we can do this.
Yeah, most of those guys on that side of the industry really are. Well, they love talking about it. They like to talk about it. You know what I mean? And for a lot of those guys, like the Padrones or the Fuentes or something, these are family.
Yeah.
These are legacy businesses. You know what I mean? They love to talk about that stuff.
Like,
that's really cool.
The passionate story, the 1926, that's when Mr. Patron was born. And then 1964 is when he migrated to the States with nothing but a hammer. And in that interview, Jorge gave me one of the little gold lapels that symbolized the hammer.
Nice.
And I was like, oh, you're my guy.
That's awesome.
That's
a great experience. That's a great memory.
So I was like, okay, from here on out, I'm just gonna ask questions.
Do you know? And we didn't get to talk about it in this interview, which was a little bit unfortunate. One of the things I love about this industry,
You can always run it back later,
is even today there is like this perception that the cigar industry is very exclusive and a little bit snotty and snooty and too high class or whatever. You know what I mean? Which anybody who actually enjoys cigars and goes to cigar shops knows that's not
the case
not
at all.
True at all. But you know, one of the things I love about it is just the range of people you get to meet from every walk of life. I mean, you walk into most cigar lounges, you're going to have the attorneys and the surgeons and the CEOs. I've worked at shops. I've owned shops.
Right.
Where you're serving those people. But sitting in the lounge right next to them is a teacher and a plumber and an electrician or a guy between jobs, and they never would have met if they didn't smoke cigars.
Exactly.
Those guys would have never been sitting together, playing golf together.
Right.
If they didn't smoke cigars. That's what they have in common.
Right.
And I honest to God, I don't know of an industry that offers that. You know what I mean? I really don't.
It's not to me.
I don't know of an industry where you can get that cross section of people coming in.
Right.
Even
in the alcohol industry, it's still like a separation of.
That's right. You've got some hole in the wall bars, and you've got some. But for the most part, cigar lounges are accessible to everybody, and it's the only place you can smoke anymore anyway.
Right.
So you know what I mean?
Right. So
everybody's in the same room together.
Come on in.
I love it, man. It really is great. It's one of the most special things about this industry for me.
And that's what I love about it. And so when people get into these nuances of being like real snooty and just like cliquish, I'm like, you're messing up what this is all about. This is really all about community. Like you said, you got the plumber, you got the teachers, that's all the people that make up this community.
Yeah.
And we're all able to come sit down and smoke and talk about our issues.
I think one of the things that gave the cigar industry that facade of kind of being this upper class thing to do was the cigar boom in the 90s. when Aficionado came out. So
Yeah.
celebrities were smoking, and
Yeah.
everything's in glossy print. But in the history of cigars, like in the United States, everybody smokes cigars. You might smoke a cheap cigar,
Right.
but I can't remember who it was. Some guy running for president back in the late 1800s, early 1900s. I can't remember. One of his slogans was, "What this country needs is a good 5-cent cigar."
Huh.
And the only reason that can be a campaign slogan for a presidential campaign is because everybody knows what you're talking about.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Everybody knows that a 10-cent cigar is too expensive.
Right.
Nowadays, that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
You can't.
Subjective at this point.
A presidential candidate today couldn't say what this country needs is a good $5 cigar. Nobody, the general public doesn't have any sense of what a cigar costs
At all.
But back then, everybody smoked. Everybody knew how much a cigar cost.
Mhm.
So a presidential candidate could use it as a metric
Right. Well,
of how much things cost.
and two is back then it was one of our primary crops.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That was one of the biggest thing in the industry is cotton and tobacco
Mhm.
was one of our main crops that we grew. Hell, the whole Boston Tea Party thing was about tobacco
Yeah.
and tea. So we threw tea about.
But
They ain't throw the tobacco out; they threw the tea out.
the cigar industry has remained remarkably grounded. Really, no matter what the public perception has been.
Yes.
It's still just a bunch of everyday people, You're just kind of getting together and smoking. It really is. My grandfather, my grandfather was not a rich man at all. My grandfather raised a family of 7 in a 2-bedroom house. These were not wealthy people.
Yeah.
But he would still go down
Mm.
once a month and get himself a cheap box of cigars.
Cigars.
And he would smoke his cigars. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So yeah, it really is for everybody.
You need your sense of peace, man.
That's
You got 7 kids in the house and a wife.
Are you kidding me?
He's like, you know what, guys?
Mowing the lawn don't sound so bad.
Where Papa at? He's mowing the yard. He's smoking a cigar.
It's it.
Leave him alone. Leave him alone. Like, all right. Like, going out on the porch. Papa, can he come out here with you? If you go in the yard, sure.
Yeah, that's it.
That's when you're like, you want to be around Papa. He puts you to work. Like my granddad would put you to work. Like, hey, all the grandkids go out there, mow the grass. You do the hedges.
That's it.
You wash the car. Like, and he'd stand there smoking a cigar.
And trick you into thinking it was fun.
Yeah, exactly. Or my granddad was like, "You want to eat? Go out there, buddy."
Matter of survival.
Yeah, you want to eat? Like, damn it.
Oh man.
And he was old military. There was like Army and Southwestern Belly. He owned like several different businesses of his own.
Mhm.
And he's like, "You want to eat? Come on the yard."
That's it.
And all 5 boys be outside. I'm like, God damn it. How we end up here? Oh. Yes, I completely appreciate you, brother.
I had fun. I hope it's good content. I really do. Sometimes I'll ramble about shit nobody cares about.
It's good conversation.
Yeah.
It's good conversation. So, with the channel, it's actually grown into a lot more than what I ever expected it to be. Like, I was just thinking, like, because initially we started out doing the podcast on the rooftop to circumvent that, reiterate that I have a roofing business.
Right.
And so that's why it's called Bosstalks on the Rooftop. And then I have a real passion for the cigar industry, which is why we started doing these so I can have a product to sell
Right.
on camera. And then I was like, let's deep dive really into, now I'm in the lounges.
Right.
It's another tax write-off for me.
Hey.
And so I'm like, okay. All right, we're doing something. And then like it's really just morphing into like a cigar centric channel, which I love, and we're able to show the cigar community what this
I'm sorry.
really is all about.
You know what?
I don't like you, Russ.
Tax write-offs, you got me. You got me. It's tax season after all.
Yeah, it is tax season, so that's why I'm like,
It's reminding me of like Kelsey and I will we'll like on a whim we'll like be out, we'll go to have lunch or something. It's like, where should we go? And be like, this is feeling like a tax write-off lunch. We should go somewhere
go
good.
somewhere good.
We should go somewhere good.
God damn, he is.
This feels like a tax write-off day.
100% meals and entertainment, 100% write-off. Hell, I was telling Mature Legacy, Sean Jones, I said, hey, dude, every time you go out and you're passing out cigars for people to try, that's market research and advertising.
That's it. Do it.
Tax write-off. Do it. Write this shit off on your taxes. Hell, every time I smoke a cigar and I give a cigar.
Cut the cameras.
Every time I give away a cigar, hell, don't worry about it. It's a write-off for me. Thanks. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that's all I want.
Did I say anything you hated?
I didn't hear all of it.
Oh, okay, good.
Y'all, the way y'all answered.
Oh, yeah, you get it.
Okay.